Right, Clevo.
Yeah, not so bad. How are you?
I'm okay, loving life, as always.
As always.
Decided to go with Lucozade Orange this week instead of Lucozade Zest or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, you were getting the lemonade one, weren't you?
Yeah. Now I'm getting the orange head.
I've never been. The only Lucozade I ever really liked was the apple one, because it was really nice.
No, not a fan of the orange one.
I quite like apple flavored drinks, like apple juice, like absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Like orange juice is good, but a nice apple juice is just. I remember what's the Lidl. Lidl sells a really nice apple juice that is tastes like apple pie. It's like ever so slightly spiced. It's cloudy and it tastes like cooked apples as opposed to fucking raw apples. It's really nice. I like it a lot.
What the fuck are you doing?
I was unblanketing myself.
Slowly stripping off.
I mean, I can, but we'd get shut down.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, fuck times. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of like just Apple Lucozade.
I quite liked it. Or at least I did. I'm also going to crop my camera a little bit because it's just pissing me off.
Alright, you do that.
I will. Professional. Alright, scoot myself over. My hair's a mess, but I don't care right now.
Well, you never do. It's usually a big push.
It's usually under a hat.
Yeah, that's true.
Close enough, whatever, fine, there we go. Done.
So yeah, it's just why I'm not a massive fan of Apple Lucozade. You know what? I do have a very occasionally I just have a craving for like just Lucozade original. Just the
Yeah,
red
it's got a weird taste. It's it is what it is, and it's not like any other flavour.
It's usually when I've been out the night before. I just think,
Oh, your hangover cure.
it's not very often, but occasionally I think, I just have to go to co-op and just original. Let's go original.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big. I know my grandma drinks it, but I don't know whether she's diabetic or something. But she normally has one in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, not big on Lucozade. Like in general, the Lucozade Sport. I remember having a few of them. Like I think it was the. I've no idea what flavour I got either. Like the orange one with orange flavour is always like
Orange.
fine.
Yeah.
It is like perfectly mediocre.
So what's the red one? Is that not like raspberry or something like that?
Could have been that. I generally quite like a raspberry flavour, especially blue raspberry. Blue raspberry is a go-to if it's an option.
Yeah, fair enough. How's work been this week?
It's weird because like I think I said last week that there's like 3 different ways in which work can go. Either it's busy all day and we like pre-book pretty early on, or it's just kind of quiet, or we get a load of bookings early on and then like after like 6 o'clock it's just people ringing up for orders straight away as opposed to pre-booking. Friday was kind of quiet. It wasn't too bad. Like, I think we did like 20 odd, so it was perfectly alright, just not busy.
Yeah.
But then Saturday, like we got a load of pre-orders for early on. Oh no, we got a load of pre-orders for like last thing at night, and then we had people ringing in for like the earlier half of the day, which was weird because that just normally doesn't happen. But overall, it was fine. Apart from like the last order was for 7 pizzas, and with a pizza oven that can only handle 4 at a time, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And one of those was a calzone. They take 10 minutes. Ugh. It's a faff.
Yeah. Are you one of these people that's kind of looked at the lockdown rules and started planning the rest of your year yet?
No, I don't care. Like the only stuff that's coming up will be planned last minute, and it'll be family stuff. Like all my family, like other than direct family, it's been birthdays. Everything is delayed until we can all like sit round and hang out again. So it's going to be a case of okay, lockdown's actually lifted, all the restrictions are gone. Right, cool. We'll all hang out and have a collective year's worth of birthdays.
Yeah. What's the cake situation going to be like? Are you just going to each have a cake?
Everyone's having a cake. I'll bring my own cake.
Just bring your own cake to the birthday party.
Yeah. I know that my grandparents have already half planned that when we can all go around, they're gonna make chip butties, gonna actually make them And they said, "Oh yeah, we'll have a competition who can make the best chips." And I commented, was like, "Oh yeah, I'm up for that." They were like, "Yeah, fuck off."
You're banned.
I'm banned.
Unfair advantage. It was my dad's birthday last week. And, I was telling you the other week that he's just spent, the last 2 months of lockdown just building loads of Lego.
Yeah.
We just got him a Lego t-shirt.
Nice.
Just chipped in for a Lego t-shirt just to piss him off.
You can, there is, the Yogscast, some of the Yogscast, they do a live stream called Studs, where they just make a Lego set. That's the stream. They stream building a Lego set.
Yeah. And yeah, it's I can't remember what it says. It says something like "I love Lego" or something like that with a Lego head on it.
Oh, jeez.
But it's just one of them.
Yeah.
Between me and my two brothers and my dad, it's who can sniff out an opportunity to take the piss. Let's go with it.
Because I know that you were saying you send him that video, Christmas every year.
Yeah.
Is it it's the Picard Star Wars. Yes.
It was the year before last that me and my brother unscripted sent it out on the same day.
Oh. Tell you what I've been looking at this week, because I think I've mentioned that me and Becca, when it came to December, and we were we've got quite a lot of money saved up for treats and stuff that we haven't been able to spend. So we decided, we'll treat ourselves to get some new clothes. So I spent 150 quid on new clothes, and I'm really happy with the amount of stuff that I got, and it's just enough to build on what I've already got, so I can mix stuff up and I can actually dress semi nice now.
Yeah,
which is, it's nice to feel I've put the effort in, even just every now and again. I went to work, I was just wearing a nice shirt, and they're like, "Oh, where are you going?" I was like, "No, it was nice to wear a shirt."
Yeah.
But I'm also going to be getting some New Rocks or some form of gothy boot, because I don't have any. I haven't had any for years, and I really miss having a set.
Yeah.
New Rocks are the proper thick sole, chunky bastards.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at them, but there's a lot of options. A lot of options.
Just too many options.
Yeah. And I want to pick the right ones. But Becca said, "Oh, well, I can get you... This is, anniversary gift kind of thing." She's like, "Oh, well, if you want, I can get you some for your birthday as well." So then you've got two sets, and it's not as important that you get the right set. I was like, "Oh, well, that's fair enough." But the one thing that I am planning for, post-lockdown is, tattoos and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, it's just not the option. It's the option's been taken away, and I can't just, message Reese and be like, "Oi, stab me up."
Stab me up with a needle.
I do need to, there was a few months ago now, but my nipple piercing fell out. I just woke up and it was in the bed, and I went to go put it back in, but it had healed up. So I'd like to get my nipple pierced again.
Yeah.
That's
Was that after you got your nose done, or before?
I've had my nose done for ages.
No, the top one.
Oh no, it was I got this done the day before lockdown hit again. So this was the 27th.
So your nipple piercing fell out after that then?
Yeah.
Right.
After lockdown
that's
lifted.
what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I think I've only been into a tattoo place once, and that's because one of my mates was getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
It's not somewhere that I go, considering I never had a tattoo.
No, you should get one. You like it. Why?
No. You know why?
Why? I've forgotten.
Because I know that my mum will kick the shit out of me.
So the only reason that you're not doing it is because you get free haircuts now.
No, I don't get free haircut. Well,
you've got to pay it.
Well, I can go to my mum's to get a haircut, but I just don't. What are you
I've
chuckling
had
at?
a complaint at the at how my camera is set, so I'm gonna.
Oh, for
I can't
fuck's
zoom
sake.
in this, and it's fucking annoying.
Fucking
That's
complaints.
probably better.
Complaint number 2 just come through.
Yeah, probably. Okay, there's that. Alt. There we go. That. It's still off. I can see. Oh fuck. Can't even like. It's the fact that I can't zoom in that is driving me mental. Oh fuck! That was control. Shit. Right. All right. Bum bum bum. Nah, it's
Yeah, this is why me and you are completely different. I would
Yep.
have gone, no, fuck you, deal with it.
it's worse apparently.
God, leave it like that.
fucking-
Fuck them.
No, right. Because it's annoying me now.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Shrink myself down, get myself in the corner.
You said weeks ago you were going to sort this out.
Yeah, well, I said weeks ago that I cared.
Well, I knew at least one of those was a lie.
Oh, right. Oh, fucking. Right. Get it to. A little bit more. Oh. Nearly there, nearly got it.
Fuck's sake.
It's so close. Oh, it's not even meeting the other side.
Never mind, don't worry about it.
Yeah, nobody cares about your side.
Yeah, well, my side looks alright. You're the one fucking about.
I'm nearly there. I nearly got it. I'm sorry. You know, marginally. Shut up, don't you glare at me, Noblet. Stop it. Close enough, whatever, fine, I'm leaving it. I need to get a better webcam because I'm super pixelated compared to you, but, you know.
You are super zoomed in compared to me.
Yeah, yours is, I want to say, like 3 feet away from your face. Mine is like
20.
8 feet away. I'll get a...
It's more than 8 feet.
Oh yeah, because I suppose I'm like
6 foot.
nearly 6 foot, yeah. So yeah, it's like 12 foot away. Yeah, so that's that marginally sorted. I was talking about boots and getting some nice boots.
Yeah, get yourself some nice stompy boots.
Stumpy boots, yeah. Because I've worn Becca's before, because we're almost the same size shoe.
Fuck me, she's got big feet. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to hear a shout from upstairs.
I don't care.
Oh.
I'll stand on the table, she won't be able to reach me. It's fine.
Yeah, she has solid feet. Like those ones that she's got there, I can fit in. They're very, very comfy.
Okay. I think I'll be leaving early tonight. Just through the fucking window.
Yeah.
I've always said you can't trust a small person because they're very angry.
Yeah, she'll say, "Oh, Keith, can you come upstairs? Can you hold this shelf for me while I put it up?" And then you go through the window.
No, she's just going to beat me to death with the shelf. I will do you a stab. Go for it. What are you going to stab me shin?
Put him out of his misery.
Fucking midgets.
She is a midget gem.
Well, yeah, if you say so.
Right, I was talking about boots and how I need some of them. Then I got distracted by camera fixings.
Becca being small.
Yep. Like that's literally just where we were. I was trying to backtrack, saying like, "Oh, we're talking about how short Becca is," Like, I was talking about that 2 seconds ago. I'm trying to go backwards to figure out where we were.
I was just about to say, I told you this outside. I was telling one of the lads from at work about where else.
Yep.
I still can't fully explain where else.
That is one of the things I'm excited for opening up again. I want to go to Warehouse. I've missed it.
Yeah.
But I can't. Even though it'll be legal to go again, I'm kind of against going straight away because there's clearly going to be a massive like jump in like infections straight after they lift everything. I don't want to be like, I don't want to either get it or spread it, so I might leave it a bit.
I think the whole point of, by the time we completely open up, that enough of the country will have the vaccine that the rest of us it won't really affect.
I'd hope so, because it's 21st of June, I think, fully opened up, all restrictions lifted, everything's fine, continue about your day.
But if you think they've already done over 65s,
I think they've done more than that, because I know my friend Mick at work, I think they must be in the 45 to 55 bracket, because Mick's had his.
Yeah.
A few people around my age have had it, that I know that have like pre-existing conditions or whatever.
So if you think that already is a big chunk of the country, and we've still got 2.5 months to go.
Yeah.
So I think by then they're hoping to have enough done for herd.
Yeah. Are you registered with a GP?
I am, yeah.
A local one?
Yeah, Lytham.
Oh, alright, fair enough,
one.
that's fine. I was going to say, because I've got my form filled in, I need to take it down. I'll take it down tomorrow because I'm still currently registered at the old one. Becca made the mistake because she rang them to try and get an appointment for something and said, oh, I need to update my address. Updated her address, and they went, alright, well, you can stay with us for a month, but you're too far out of our radius now, so we will no longer be your GP.
Yeah, if you think mine's Lytham Road, so it's literally a few hundred yards from my house.
Yeah, there's one literally just down there, that way even. So it's not far.
One side of my street I've got a dentist, the other side of my street I've got a GP. So
nice. I need to register with a dentist as well. I always forget dentist because it only comes up every now and again. I forget.
Yeah. I think I tried to register at that dentist like just over 2 years ago, and they're like, "Oh well," I think it was like January time that I need to go, and they're like, "Oh well, we've just had a dentist retire, and another dentist is going on maternity leave, and." Yeah, we might like struggle to get to you. But fill out these forms anyway. Filled them out, just never heard back from them. So I need to go do that again.
Yeah, because I know me like when I was young enough to still be like doing that stuff with my mum. My mum for ages had us at a private dentist on Lane Ends, like across from the pub. It was just a little further down. There's a dentist there that is really, really good. But when we first started, like it mustn't have been that expensive because we could afford it. But then I think I was like 14, 15, and it was just a checkup for 3 of us. And they're like, yeah, that'll be like 180 quid. And Mum's like, what? That's ridiculous. How have you not told people that prices have gone up? That is so extortionate. They're like, oh, well, can you pay it now? Fucking no. So we ended up going with a regular dentist, as it were.
I've always wondered about that. Like, if you go into a dentist and have work done and they go, oh, it's X amount, you go, oh shit, that's a lot more than I expected it to be. What do they do?
They unfix your teeth.
Just fucking punch you until they're broken again.
Yeah, no, if you can't pay then, they're going to try and put you on a payment plan, basically. And then if you don't pay that, they'll ring you and do the standard stuff that we were doing at work. Okay. Like, they'll try for a little bit, and if not, it'll debt collection agency.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Lovely. But yeah, I need to go to a dentist. I've been needing to go to a dentist for about 3 months.
Oh yeah.
I
know. There's a dentist right next to the bus station that has a big poster up saying they're still taking on. So I might go there at some point this week, but I don't know if it's a private dentist or not.
That one, no, that's the NHS one.
The Synergy.
If it's
dental.
the one that I'm thinking about that's next to the bus station, there might be two around there, but I'm fairly certain that's the one that I went to when we both worked together and I had really bad toothache to the point
Not
where...
that one. That's the emergency dentist. I'm thinking of a different.
Right,
you know,
okay.
Garstang Road, that one, like there. If you go all the way down that road into town, you like go straight to the bus station if you follow it all the way straight.
Okay.
So you've got the big crossroads bus stations there. It's there. They have a
Right,
big poster up saying still taking on patients. It's been up for years though, so it could just be they haven't taken it down, but it might be worth checking if they're open now. Because my dad was having a shitload of trouble because he got fitted for a crown, had it all made, and had his appointment to get it fitted 2 days after first lockdown started.
Okay.
So he's gone almost a year without having this crown fitted.
Is he in pain?
He wasn't. He got a temporary filling,
Okay.
but he said that it was like sometime around October that it had cracked. But he managed to get like an emergency dentist to fill it in again or something.
Oh, fair enough. I really haven't watched anything of interest this week. Like, nothing of interest.
Me and Becca started watching It's a Sin. This has been quite interesting. I don't think you'd find it all that fascinating. But it's about the AIDS crisis mostly in England when that was going on. And it's just essentially it's mostly just like a drama, but it's like slightly documentary-ish.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's like it's showing you how people reacted, and there's just like all these gay guys are like, yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's Americans that have to worry about it because it's going on over there, but how would a disease only target gay people?
Yeah.
And then like the stigma that came from it, and the stigma with people that had it and families around. It's quite interesting. I've been enjoying it. We watched 2 episodes so far.
Yeah, because one of my old housemates, I was talking to him about like AIDS and stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I have like a prescription thing that I take. I'm not sure if it's like every so often or just before he had sex, just to make sure he didn't get it.
Ah.
So you can actually get things now, like tablets and stuff that you take that actually stops you from getting it, so you can't get infected.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't know that they kind of come that far.
Just wrap up safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be a plebbo.
Wrap your knob.
Don't be a knob. Wrap your knob.
Yeah, so that's been good. We finished watching WandaVision. That was a couple of weeks ago now, but that was solid. That was fine.
Yeah. I need to have a look to see when the other one's coming out, but you're not interested in that.
Later this month. I think it's a couple of weeks away. It's towards the end of this month. I will watch it because I want to be caught up. It's the only reason I'm going to watch it. I don't care about either character. I really don't care.
Yeah.
But I'll watch it because interesting stuff could happen.
Because of FOMO.
Yep. But also, I like the superheroes that actually have superhero-y powers and that are interesting, rather than man with metal wings and man with metal arm.
I thought the whole point of the Winter Soldier is that he had a similar super serum to Captain America.
Even that, I don't find Captain America interesting. Captain America is a very strong man with a bouncy frisbee. I don't care.
Okay.
Oh, one of the other guys, a really strong man with a metal arm. I don't care.
Okay. Who do you find interesting?
Scarlet Witch was pretty interesting. I like that's an interesting thing going on. Vision's alright. Iron Man, his personality comes through. Every other just human character who's normal, as it were, I don't care. Thor is fun. Hulk is fun. Hawkeye's not. He's a man with a bow.
Well, I think we've had this discussion before, and like, Can you really call them superheroes if they don't have superhuman powers?
Yeah, I still consider the super part to be in reference to the good that you are doing. Like, sure, you can do like a surgeon, a hero, or whatever. A superhero is one who does it just on a bigger scale.
No, because for me, there's a difference between a superhero and a vigilante. Batman's a vigilante because he fights crime, and he's not a police officer. Where the Hulk is like a superhero because he's got superpowers.
Still a vigilante, though.
No, well, that's the difference, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That a superhero is a vigilante with superhuman abilities.
Actually, I think depending like this, depending on what like era of Batman. Like, Batman is a vigilante most of the time, but in, like, the Justice League, I'm fairly sure that the Justice League is, like, legally mandated and checked up on by politicians and such, so they're no longer vigilantes. Like, they are legally allowed to be doing what they're doing. What do you call Batman then?
I don't know. It's not a superhero, though. Just a hero.
Is Iron Man a superhero?
No, it's just a vigilante.
Alright then. Fine.
Or
Why have we got onto this again?
Or a soldier.
Yeah, alright. Oh yeah, I was saying, yeah, I find the ones that actually have superpowers more interesting than the standard humans with above average human abilities, I guess. Yeah, I don't care about Black Widow, that film. I care about David Harbour's part in it because he looks fun.
I don't think I've seen any of the trailers for it yet.
You know Hopper from Stranger Things?
Yeah.
He's in it.
Okay.
And his costume basically looks like the Russian version of Captain America. But he looks fun. And that's why I'm excited.
Fair enough. Yeah, that might be interesting. Because, like, I absolutely loved him in Stranger Things, but then he played Hellboy. I like this fucking... Yeah.
Hellboy wasn't a good film, but I enjoyed it.
No, I've watched it twice.
Really? Why would you... I've watched it once, and I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Because sometimes I'll watch some... Like, we've said this before about, like... I don't know, the Avengers films or whatever. You watch it the first time, you go, oh, that was brilliant.
Yep.
And then you watch it again years later, and you go, that actually wasn't that good. It's a decent film.
I think with regards to that, to an extent, there's an issue with you are basing everything you are judging this character on all of the character development that they have had. And you are going back to their initial, like, their inception, where they're kind of a cardboard cutout of how you would describe their character.
Yeah.
So, like, Tony Stark in the first film is a dick. Tony Stark in the second film is a dick. Tony Stark, by the end of it, pretty rounded character all in all.
Yeah.
He tries to do good. He has put a lot of effort in, got a family, has had tragedy, he's a well-rounded person. Captain America is far more interesting later on. I don't care about him when he's just Soldier Man.
Yeah. So the reason why I watched Hellboy a second time, because I watched it the first time and went, yeah, that was shit. And then I watched it again like a while later and thought, well, I'll watch it again and see what I think. Because if I've got through it once, then it might be alright. But watched it a second time, I'm like, no, this is still shit.
Yeah, it's Ron Perlman was the perfect casting for Hellboy when when Guillermo del Toro made Hellboy 1 and 2.
Yeah, perfect casting.
It was just fantastic from the get-go. It's like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I don't know who you could get to replace Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
I don't think he was supposed to be Wolverine originally, was he?
I don't know. It has legitimately been 20 years.
Yeah, I'm sure that I watched part of an interview he was talking about coming into the first X-Men, but he came in like a few weeks after everybody else because he was replacing the actor that was going to be Wolverine. And he was saying to, I can't remember which actor he said, that he feels uncomfortable because all the other cast at that point, because they'd done table reads and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, they'd done it all with the other guy.
Yeah, they kind of got in, the whole of the cast and the crew and everything had got into a rhythm.
Yeah.
And like a certain routine and something, and all that sort of stuff. And then he'd come in like a few weeks, if not like a month into filming. So he say it was a bit uncomfortable because he's then having to kind of get into the rhythm and everything that everyone else will get into.
Kind of works for the character though, because Wolverine is kind of standoffish and bit of a loner.
Yeah. But them original X-Men films weren't great.
1 and 2 were good for the time. 3 is really bad. That's why they have backtracked so much to make sure that the third one didn't happen.
I can't even remember the third one.
The third one is the Phoenix one. Dark Phoenix. Where Jean Grey goes all evil and cosmic and melty.
So the first one is the politician. Where they try and take the politician and make him into a mutant.
Yep.
What's the second one?
No idea what the second one is. I can't remember it at all.
Is the second one the one with the guy that can teleport? Or is that the first one?
It's not the first one. First one didn't have Nightcrawler.
So that must be the second one then.
But I can't remember the context of the second one.
Yeah,
Let's have a fucking check because it's annoying me now. What was?
Because it's the first one that they go to New York, isn't it? It ends in New York.
I'm looking at all these posters and it's not giving me fucking anything. Nightcrawler tries to murder the president. William Stryker, who I'm fairly sure Stryker
William Stryker is the guy that did the experiments on Wolverine and put the metal into his around his bones. Is the he works for like the military or something.
Yes, that's what that was about.
Oh, so Nightcrawler's trying to.
Nightcrawler tries to kill the president. Let's see. Yes. First one is Magneto trying to convert people into mutants.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Second one, they try and get another telepath into Cerebro to kill all non-mutants.
Okay.
That's the second one. Third one, bad. All since, not great. Logan was pretty good.
So the third one, if I remember correctly, is the one where they're in like the woods. They're hiding out. The bad guys are hiding in the woods, and they're trying to hire other mutants to fight the war and all that sort of stuff. I can't remember. It's been such a fucking long time.
Jean Grey dies at some point, and she comes back in the third one.
She dies at the end of the second one.
Yes, and then the third one, she comes back. She's not quite right. Kind of gets with Wolverine for like half a second. Cyclops is all sad because, oh no, my Jean Grey. And then she goes all evil and melts people. More accurately, disintegrates people.
Yeah. Well, the X-Men films are... The newer ones are fine. The older ones are horrible.
1 and 2 are fine. 3's not good. They had a real bad run for a long time. X-Men Origins Wolverine is god-awful. Days of Future Past I wasn't huge on. Like, there was a lot going on around there that I just didn't like. Apocalypse was kind of alright. And the other one, I still haven't seen Dark Phoenix. I had a friend who was, like, super into Dark Phoenix coming out. I didn't care. I couldn't care.
Yeah. It's just for them, innit? But yeah, really not watched anything of interest recently. Like I said, I think I mentioned it to you last week that I started watching Your Honour. With Bryan Cranston.
Oh, yes, he said. Yeah.
I've not watched any more of that. The first episode kind of put me off because I was eating at the same time.
Yeah, you said. Yep.
So that's going to be one of them that I watch while I'm not eating. Which is probably for the best. But it's... From what I can tell of how it's written and stuff, it's very similar. It's a very similar character to what he plays in the early seasons of Breaking Bad.
Okay. So, a little fumbly.
So, he plays a judge, and he's the good guy, and then his son tells him that he's accidentally killed someone with his car and basically done a runner. And so he's like telling his son that he needs to give himself over and he's going to pay for his lawyer, all that sort of stuff. And when they get to the police station, he says, just wait there, I'll go in first. And then as he goes into the police station, before he gets to like the reception, he hears like a woman screaming and realises that the woman and her husband are like the head of the mob family in the city. And they're the biggest mob family. So then he puts kind of 2 and 2 together to realise that his son had hit their son and basically killed him.
Yep.
And then at this, like the end of the first episode, he goes, "You're not giving yourself over to the police," because he kind of figures,
yeah, that's a death sentence.
That's a death sentence. You can't do that.
Yep.
Morally, yes, you need to give yourself up to the police, but you can't because you will get killed in prison. So, I think the rest of it at least the rest of that season is him just trying to cover up that crime.
Yeah. Like, me thinking now, the only good option there is he speaks to the police on his behalf and goes, yeah, fine, he is fine to... It was very much an accident. It is going to go to court. If he is found not guilty, he needs to go into witness protection. If he does go to jail, he needs to be in fucking protective custody, because he will get stabbed in prison.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how how it kind of all works over in America. I think you go to jail while the whole...
Yeah, that's what bail's for.
Yeah.
You go to jail to be held until your sentence is given, and then you go to prison.
Yeah, but you might not... I think if it's like murder, you might not get bail.
Yeah.
So I think he's just made a decision right there and then gone, fuck that, we're not telling anyone, we're going to cover it up and never speak of it again. So I'm just presuming that he's... Because I haven't watched the rest of it, but my prediction is going to be he covers it up relatively well. There's something that he's going to miss that's going to come out.
Very Breaking Bad.
His son's going to fucking crack under the pressure and want to tell someone. Probably will.
Will tell the wrong person.
Yeah. The mob family will probably find out. So on and so forth. I think that's one of the reasons that I kind of don't want to watch it. Because you can pretty much plot it out.
Yeah. Probably worth watching just to see if there's any like twists and turns.
Yeah. But to be fair, Breaking Bad is still one of my all-time favourite TV shows. It was phenomenal.
My only issue is thinking back. I'm thinking back to it. I'm like, it's kind of slow. It's good at the time, but now thinking back, not a lot happens throughout the entire show. Like, not a lot happens.
Have you rewatched it recently?
I have not. I watched it once. That's it, full stop.
Rewatch it. Because like I said to me mate at the time, I said, you're not going to overly enjoy the first season. The first season is fine, but it's not great. It's when you start watching the second season that it all starts hitting the fan.
Because I can't... It was the first season or the second season that was being written towards the start of the writer's strike when that kicked off.
Yeah.
Jesse Pinkman was supposed to be killed off at the end of season 1 or season 2. But because of the writer's strike, they didn't get a chance to put it in.
Okay.
And everyone collectively decided, yeah, that was the greatest thing that we ever didn't do. We are very happy we didn't kill him off. He is the only... Because he's not relatable, but you are able to pity him.
Yeah.
Because he is so very taken advantage of by... fucking...
Heisenberg.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
Walter White.
Walter, yeah. He is taken advantage of dramatically. So you do, like, you can't sympathise with him, but you pity him.
Yeah.
Like, pretty hard. And he's the only character in the show that you can do that with. Hate Skylar. She can die in a hole. Walter's not that great. He's not.
Yeah. I think that, like, kind of the main reason why it was so successful, especially at that time, and probably still now, like, if I rewatched it, it'd probably be brilliant, is it's almost the reverse arc of that character.
Yeah.
In the way that most characters, when you watch, like Tony Stark, for instance, the first film is he's a bell end.
Yep.
And then throughout, he progresses and all that sort of stuff, and then he turns out to be a well-rounded character.
Yep.
Walter White's the opposite of that.
Yep. No, it's...
He starts out as a great guy, and then because of all this shit that happens, he turns out to be an absolute bastard.
Yeah, initially you want him to earn enough for his treatment. Full stop, that's all that you want. You want him to get enough that he can get what he needs.
Yeah.
Then it gets to the point where he's clearly got enough, and you're just wanting to give him wins so that he can stop.
Yeah.
But like he says it in, like, spoilers for fucking Breaking Bad.
No apologies. It's been out far too long for that.
It has been out less than 10 years. Like, I think it finished less than 10 years ago.
Did it?
Yeah, I think it did.
Well, if you haven't watched it at this point, then sort your life out.
He says it himself towards the end where he's like, no, I did it because it was fun.
Yeah, he did it because he was addicted to the high risk, high reward lifestyle. But yeah, very
Breaking Bad, but yeah. It's one of the other option I had as a topic for today was going to be BoJack Horseman. But BoJack Horseman is very similar. Not in pacing, but in how season to season he's not a good person. And he is becoming a worse person as it goes on. And you just want, like, he starts doing well at some point, so you're like, yes, finally, he's on the up and up. No. It is also that his fall is even worse. And only, like, maybe by the end, you're like, he's in a good place now.
Yeah, I've not watched it all. I've only watched a few seasons. I think I got bored of it.
I've watched all of it. Season 1 might as well not be BoJack Horseman. It's a different show. Like, in the first couple of episodes, they ask BoJack, oh, what was it like in your childhood?
Yeah.
And it just flashes back to, like, a horrible scene. Like, when you first watch it, like, oh, it's a cartoon about a horseman. Oh, ha ha ha, his dad was mean to him.
Yeah.
4 seasons later, and you're getting flashbacks that are far more in depth, far more in detail, far worse. And they are heart-wrenching. But then, like, going back to season 1, and you see, oh yeah, BoJack made a heart card for his dad for Father's Day, and his dad shouts at him, and it's funny because his dad's mean. And then, like, later it's, like, so much worse. That, like, the weird juxtaposition of, like, early seasons to latter seasons, it's wonderful.
I think one of the last episodes that I watched, I can't even remember what it was about. Really, it was like it were underwater. Oh, like, yeah.
That's season 2. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, so I only got like 2 or 3 seasons in, I think.
Yeah,
and got bored. But yeah, I think Breaking Bad will always be one of my favourite TV programs. It was phenomenal. And then obviously you got Game of Thrones, which were phenomenal. Did you not like Game of Thrones?
Not by the end of it, no. Last 2 seasons are awful.
Oh no, I love season 7. Season 7 was probably the best season for me.
Season 7, the last one?
Season 8 was the last season, and that was...
Season 6 then. Season 6 was the good one.
Season 7, if you remember, is the... It's like the one where the kind of... The Lannisters kind of take over everything at that point. And they kind of... they win the war against... I can't even remember the family, and get loads of gold, and...
Yeah.
Everything's kind of going their way, and then... Yeah, at season 8... At the end of season 7... is when they break down the wall. Yeah,
that was season 6 was like the peak for me. All of season 7 was like probably all right, but that was at the point where they'd run out of book material. Like fully, there was nothing left. They were running on fumes, and they started making shit up and just removing stuff that really should have been in there, getting rid of stuff that was important.
Yeah.
And then, like, by the end of season 7, they've built up so much stuff, and I'm like, you can't deal with this in... Like, you could deal with this in one season if you write it really, really well. And then they did it in 6 episodes, and it was fucking terrible.
Yeah. I think the only half-decent episode in the last season was the Winterfell one.
Yep, that one was really good, if we could have seen it. The entire episode was pitch black. Like, I'm pretty sure the day that episode came out, me and Becca tried to watch it at like midday, and we couldn't. We had to wait for sunset to watch it, because even with the curtains closed, couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
Even turning the brightness up on the TV didn't help. That episode was so poorly filmed. But, if you remember, I'm pretty sure that was episode like 2?
3.
2 or 3? Yeah. That should have been the final episode. Because for me, the entire series, the actual pressing issue was always the White Walkers. It was always the stuff to the north of the wall. That was the real issue. Everything happening south of that is petty people arguing over a chair.
Yeah.
So it should have been, okay, we've all come together. Oh, we're going into this final fight. Oh no, you've stabbed us in the back. Oh fuck, everyone's trying to fight a war on 2 fronts. Blah 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 blah. All right, we've won. And then like last half an episode or an episode settling everything in.
Yeah.
It was hated it.
Yeah. There's like the odd TV series that I'll always go back to, like Friends, Scrubs, How I Met Your Mother.
I'd like to rewatch Scrubs, but Becca isn't like the hugest of fans of medical stuff, just because the inaccuracies like can bother her.
No, I can kind of understand that.
Friends I've rewatched about 4 or 5 years ago. Stuff happens a lot earlier on than I remember. Like, because I only ever like watched it on E4 when it was on. If there was nothing else on, and it just happened to be this thing that was on. But like going back, and like Chandler and Monica get together in like season 2 or 3. They get together really early on. I thought that was like way later.
But yeah, there's a lot of episodes in each series.
Malcolm in the Middle is one that I would happily rewatch.
I think I might be wrong on this, so don't hold me to it, but I'm fairly certain that Malcolm in the Middle is now on Disney Plus.
Wouldn't surprise me, because it was referenced in WandaVision.
And I think it's... I think
It could be in the star.
Yeah, the star category.
Because that's where they've shoved all quite a lot of the Fox stuff. I think.
Yeah. So it might be on there, which is great. There's like a few episodes of just the first season that me and my dad always refer to. There's like a few episodes in like the first season of Malcolm in the Middle that me and my dad always chat about.
The water park episode, that one is the one that sticks in my mind the most.
The rollerblading episode.
Yep, 100%. They play Funky Town. I vividly remember that episode.
And the one where the dad rents like not a steam truck, like what they're called.
Is it where he makes the speed bump?
No,
steamroller.
Steamroller.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of. Like they're the two main ones that me and my dad always talk about.
The one that I just remember the bit of it. It's where I think Stevie and Malcolm had fallen out.
Yeah. And
it's where Stevie gets like the mechanical legs and beats the shit out of him. Oh no, it's Reese. It's Stevie and Reese have an argument, and then he just beats the shit out of him as a robot man.
There's like just little bits that always come back that always cracks me up, like the fact that the grandma's like a massive racist, and in one of the episodes, the only way that they can get her to leave the house is by inviting the black friends round.
The episode, it's when thingy, what's it, the oldest brother, Francis, where Francis is on the ranch, and then they get fireworks and they blind themselves at the end because they get like an illegal firework that turns it to daylight.
Yeah, there's like a few really, really good episodes in Malcolm in the Middle. There's the one where they build like a massive slingshot on the roof.
Yes, yeah.
And then they end up getting trapped on the roof. That's really funny. There's the episode where Dewey ends up getting addicted to cigarettes as a child.
The episode where throughout the entire thing, like Lois gets in trouble for causing a car crash, and she is adamant that it is the other person's fault, and they end up getting like a VHS tape from where she works showing that she's in the wrong, and she finally accepts it. She's like, fine, nope, yep, I was wrong, and she like super settles down, and then they get another VHS tape that shows she was right. It's from another camera angle, and they just destroy it.
Yeah. There's like another episode where I can't remember what the evidence that they had. They had evidence of that was it. So when there was like, it was before like season 1 had started, that they'd somehow convinced the mum that she had cancer, so she didn't realise how bad the grades were or whatever they'd done, so they didn't get punished, and then just buried that evidence and said, basically, no matter how bad it got, we weren't going to turn on each other because we had this to fall back on. But now we're all moving out, we can destroy the evidence. Yep. Like, Jesus Christ, that is fucking horrific.
Yeah, Malcolm in the Middle was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you won't have watched it. You should. You can watch all of it in like 2.5 hours on YouTube. Clone High was a cartoon made by the two guys who I'm pretty sure wrote and directed, or at the very least directed, the Lego Movie.
Okay.
And Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
The two guys that directed those, they made a show in the early 2000s called Clone High.
It does ring a bell.
Yeah, it was on MTV, I'm pretty sure. It was about the US government cloned a load of super famous people, like Abe Lincoln and Cleopatra and Einstein and Gandhi and JFK and all these people. They cloned all of them so they can use them for nefarious deeds. but they all grew up at the same time, and they're all teenagers now, so they're all in high school.
Okay.
So Clone High is about all these cloned teenagers in high school, and it's really funny. It's coming back. MTV have picked it up again, because like just semi-recently it's just blown up almost out of nowhere. It's just come out. Like a load of people have just watched it new, because it came out like 2002. Came out at the same time that Scrubs first started airing. It's wonderful. It's really funny. So we're bringing that back, which I'm very happy about. And I'm pretty sure Daria as well, which I don't think you'll have watched. It was a spin-off of Beavis and Butthead. It's just a solid show. It's about a misanthropic teenager. I quite enjoyed it. I haven't watched all of it. I watched about half of it, but from what I watched, I enjoyed.
I caught like the last like half an hour, 20 minutes of one of the Austin Power films the other day, and just forgot how good they were.
I haven't seen them in ages. I remember by the third one they were making jokes at the fact that they were just reusing jokes from the first two. I remember enjoying them well enough. They are probably quite dated, and probably make some let's say less than tasteful jokes.
Definitely. But
yeah, I haven't seen them in... I think last I watched Goldmember when I was 14 at my dad's, and that's the last time I watched a Austin Powers film.
I'd definitely say watch them again, because I'm going to rewatch them. They're brilliant. They're stupid. But then again, it's my sense of humour, because there's plenty of puns in there.
Yeah. I like a good pun. I watched a video with Adam Savage talking about how... Did you ever watch Mythbusters?
I've seen the occasional clip.
Yeah. Apparently, like, the English version of Mythbusters has an English narrator, and the episodes were half an hour long. In America, the episodes were like a full hour, and the narrator did a lot more talking. And he was asked, "Oh, did you ever get to meet the narrator?" He was like, "Yeah, no, we met a good few times. I consider him a friend. He was hilarious." And like all of the American version of Mythbusters is jokes. Like all of it is really shitty puns. Like really bad puns. He was like, yeah, he just had a way of reading them where you can like tell there's a smile in his voice, but he's also acknowledging the fact that the joke is terrible.
That's good.
Yeah, I like a good pun. It's very heavily in dad joke territory, but...
Yeah, you never like any of my puns.
No, because Becca, every now and again, she'll tell a joke that is a play on words, and I won't laugh, but I won't laugh because the joke has been actually quite smart, and it's taken me like 2 or 3 seconds to be like, what the fuck you on about? Oh! That was really fucking smart. I like that one.
No, I'm usually relatively quick with those. Usually click on fairly quickly. So what's the topic? Oh, it's crafts.
Crafts. I was going to talk about the different crafts that I have done to some extent.
Okay. What crafts have you crafted?
Well, it's mostly the dice. Like, I need to get back into it, and I will be doing soon. I just need to get some more silicon and some more resin to actually do the stuff. Okay. But I have a pressure chamber for making molds and then using those molds to make resin casts of stuff. And I also have behind my TV over there, I have a 3D printer. So it's mostly dice that I want to be doing because that's, one of my interests. So I can 3D model and print some dice with specific faces on them. I can design the own... I say I can do it. I can't, but I could pay someone to. Like, I've got a friend who does 3D modeling as one of his hobbies, so I could ask him to do it, and I'm sure he wouldn't have any issue doing so. But, so I can design my own dice with my own font, my own design on each face, chuck that into the 3D printer, 3D print that off, tidy that up, put it on a stem, and make a mold of it. So 2 parts silicon, put it together, put the thing in there, Then put that in the pressure pot, because when you mix two things together to make the silicon mold, you get a load of air in there, and air can make imperfections in the mold that you're actually making. Because obviously if part of the object has been submerged and there's a big bubble, the bubble is part of the mold.
Yeah.
Which is less than ideal. And will require a lot more cleanup.
Well, I was watching TikTok about this the other day, actually. And they were saying when you're making it, what you're best doing is, because obviously you put the thing, whatever you're making, like a cast of or whatever,
yep.
If you put that in there and then pour it into the corner,
yep,
instead of onto the thing, it's far less likely to bubble.
Yes. The difficulty with dice is, especially if you... Because if I wanted to, I could just make a die that was like completely smooth faces and paint the numbers on.
Yeah.
But that's going to chip off a lot easier. So realistically, you want indented lettering or numbering that you then fill in with paint or ink or whatever, because then it's going to stay in there, it's not going to chip off, and it's legible even if you don't paint it. The issue is that whatever face you have on the bottom, if you have a face on the bottom, even if you're filling in from the side, it's not going to fill in that gap that's under it, because it's not going to want to flow in. So yeah, tipping it, pouring into a corner, trying to make sure everything gets filled in equally. But then when you put it into a pressure pot, the immense pressure in there, it's about 40 bar. 40 bar of pressure, it shrinks all the bubbles down to something that is practically... Like, if you had really bubbly resin and you let it settle a bit and all the big bubbles pop and then you put it in pressure pot, it'll be entirely clear by the time it's set. And then when you let it out, it's set with the bubbles so tiny that they're imperceivable. I'm sure if you get a microscope onto it, you'd be able to see a few bubbles at least, but to the naked eye, no bubbles.
Oh, fair enough.
So yeah, and then when you you do that, you make the mold, you take the original out, you can make another mold from that if it's still in good condition, you can carry on doing that.
Okay.
Then it's deciding like what kind of resin you're going to be using, because resin... The main differences in resins come in time it takes to cure and how long you have to work with it, and how hard it is when it's done.
Okay.
That's practically it. So you can get some resins that are really, really hard, but more brittle. You can get some that are lighter, like a little bit, and you can get some that are like a little bit softer, so they're not... They'll scratch easier, but they're not going to shatter. So it's just trying to figure out like what actual like density and hardness that you need, and then you decide, because if you want a solid color, you've got a few options. If you want it to be transparent, you want to use an alcohol ink, because if you use regular inks like ink you'd use for like a pen or whatever, or a quill or stuff like that, those are generally water based.
Okay.
And they evaporate over time. But if you put that into your resin, it's adding water to the resin, so the resin isn't going to cure properly, and it'll still be quite soft even after it's fully finished.
Okay.
But if you use alcohol ink, it is like 99.9% alcohol with a load of pigment in it. So you pour that in, mix it up, all the alcohol evaporates off, you're just left with the pigment in there. But it'll be a transparent colour. If you want something solid, you've got to put like pigment powder in. Like actual powder that stops the light passing through.
Okay.
So you got to think about those options. Then you got to think like what colours play. Do you want complementary colours? Do you want non-complementary? And I can't think of the word. Yeah, I still can't think of the word. Colours that contrast.
Okay.
Contrast well, because some like just nice swirled black and white dice would be nice enough. But then like green and purple, that's going to look a little bit weird. And then you've got to think on who you're designing them for. Are you designing them for somebody's first game, in which case just a nice set of like kind of glittery and a colour and maybe a swirl or two? Who knows? That'd be nice enough. But then if you're making it for someone specific and you're thinking, oh, I want to make it for their character, their D&D character, you can put a bit more thought into it. You're like, oh, okay, well, they're like a nature druid or something. So I'm going to go for a green colour scheme, like greens, browns, then maybe some gold for the colour, for the lettering or whatever. That'd be nice.
Because I know Becca quite likes arts and crafts and all that sort of stuff. She's a very good painter. You showed me a painting of one that she did of you two, I think a few weeks ago. That was very good.
Yes, yeah, she did. It is absolutely lovely.
That's kind of why I let you do all the arty stuff. I'm terrible at that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not very good. Like I dabble in pixel art as well. That's like one of the other things that I do. I'm trying to teach myself to do regular artwork as well because it's just a nice skill to have. It's nice to have something where I can be like, I don't want to consume any media right now. I want to do something creative.
Yeah, you're more artistically inclined than I am.
I'm not. Like, I struggle. Like the amount of times that I've been like, oh, I've got like half a day to myself. I'll sit down, I'll do a doodle, I'll do some artwork or something. Sit down, but nope, no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm terrible at drawing, painting, all that sort of stuff. Like I do well to draw a stickman. I'm just not very good at drawing at all. It's just not something I could honestly practice for 2 hours a day for the rest of my life, and still not get good at art, or drawing, or painting, or any of that sort of stuff.
One of my friends, Simon, he is very against telling kids you can be whatever you want to when you grow up. Because some people are just not inclined in certain ways. Yeah. Like he said, he tried like really hard for like 5 solid years of like drawing for a solid amount of time every week, and at the end of it, he could like just about draw a cartoon man.
Yeah.
To no level of degree that he was happy with. Like, yeah, you can throw yourself at something really, really hard and still not come. Like, it's just how easy you pick stuff up.
Yeah, I think the whole thing with you can be what you want to be. No, you can be either miserable and do a shit job that you hate, or if you're lucky, you're good at something that pays alright, and you do that.
Yeah. I am a big believer in chaos theory, like fucking Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park, where although I believe that we fully 100% have free reign over our lives and you can make all the decisions that you ever want to make, all of the decisions that you are ever going to make are all predetermined based on stuff that happened a million years ago. You are only yourself based on every interaction you have ever had.
Yeah.
But every interaction that has ever occurred is only caused by every interaction that happened to that person or being or whatever before that. You are the person you are because you have lived the life that you have, but it is impossible that you would live any other life than the one that you had because you were born at the time that you were. You interacted with the people that you interact with. You made the decisions that led your life to the path of where you are now. But you made those decisions because of how your life had been up until that point.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you have free reign, you have free will over your own life. But also, all those are already predetermined because of the life you have led up until this point. If you choose to go to uni to do such a course, you will always have chosen to do that course because of the life you have led. That, like, yes, you get the choice, but
unless you
have been influenced by your entire life, and you made that choice because of all those influences. Like,
unless you believe in the multiverse.
I don't. Like, to an extent, sure, but it was once explained to me, it's like, oh yeah, well, if you can imagine a universe, then it exists. Alright, I'm imagining a universe in which they open a portal that opens right next to me, right here, right now. No, it doesn't.
When you listen to people like
smart
Tyson,
people.
Yeah, well, yeah, smart people.
Fucking.
Why fuck smart people? No, fuck the idiots like us that don't understand it. But, yeah, fuck it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm an idiot.
When you listen to, I think you were saying Tyson, but Don't know.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
Yeah. He explains it. You go, oh yeah, that actually kind of makes sense, but I don't think it's proven.
No.
I think it's just a concept at this moment.
Conceptually, yeah.
I keep meaning to watch the masterclasses. Have you seen them advertised online?
No idea.
So, for example, Eminem. So, the masterclass would be what he's very good at, something that he's mastered.
Yeah.
So, rapping.
Okay.
And then he does so many episodes that can, I think they're all about 5-10 minutes each, going through like each stage of how he builds an album, like a rap album.
I was talking to Mick at work yesterday. How about, like, yes, I would really like to learn the ukulele. I own one. It is hard to learn how to learn. They don't teach you that in school. Like, if you're interested in something, it is easy to take something in.
Yeah.
But I am interested in learning this instrument. It is very difficult to find anywhere online that is like, oh yeah, here's the stuff that you need to practice to improve.
Yeah.
It's very easy to find a song and its tabs and try and learn it, but the ability to learn how to learn something, like learn where to start, like if you wanted to get good at drawing, what are you going to do?
Yeah, where is
what
are the
point
fundamentals and basics that you need to learn first before you start doing everything else?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a few like masterclasses on different things, and not Justin Timberlake. I can't think of what I always get mixed up with Justin Timberlake because the names are similar. He's basically a producer.
Oh, okay.
But like he takes you how his masterclass is basically takes you through on how he produces his own albums and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get there's lots of them. There's literally hundreds of them, but I think they're quite expensive. I think I've got a few. I found like a few dodgy ones online and stuff to watch.
Yeah. That's why I'm always, because I watch quite a lot of YouTube. That's where like a good 90% of my entertainment comes from.
Yeah.
I'm always, whenever you see an advert for Skillshare, I'm always kind of interested because it's a similar concept. It's like, hey, I am someone who's been doing this for however long.
Yeah.
Here are the basics. Okay, you've got the basics down. Here's the next one up. Here is the next step that you can take to improve in such thing. Like, but there's such a wide range of stuff on there. Like, it's stuff from, hey, I'm going to teach you about animation. Hey, I'm going to teach you about drawing. Hey, I'm going to teach you about creating a brand online. Hey, I'm going to teach you how to cook.
Okay.
It is literally just learning skills on there. It's like, I think the offer normally is like, oh, you get a couple months free and then it's $10 a month or something, which I might ask for my birthday, to be honest, because it's nice to be able to go to somewhere professional, because if I can get something for free, great, but I know it's going to be budget.
Yeah.
Like, I can probably learn to do a lot of stuff on YouTube. However, if I'm paying for it, I'm going to assume the quality of the teaching is going to be better.
Yeah. So I've just got like the masterclass up now, and Neil deGrasse Tyson's on there because I've watched some of his, and the one that he did is, it teaches you teaches scientific thinking and communication. So it's how scientists think about an issue.
Yes.
Or how they think about a problem, then figure out how to solve that problem, and then communicate it in a way that you're going to understand.
Yeah.
So it's something that obviously over his career he's had to master.
Yeah.
To kind of get to where he is at the moment. But there's literally hundreds of them. I can't remember what the guy's called, but there was another one that was like a NASA astronaut, and he talks about like working for NASA and going up in a rocket and kind of everything that you need to do to kind of prepare for that. And all that sort of stuff. So they are really interesting. So it's kind of like people at the top of their profession saying, "This is why I'm at the top. This is how I've mastered what I do."
Yeah, quite like like TED Talks. There's a YouTube channel. I can't remember what it's called. It's called like Google Talks or something. But it's just where they will get a relatively famous person. It's similar to what you talk like masterclass stuff. But they got Alton Brown in, and Alton Brown is a guy who worked for the Food Network doing like adverts and stuff.
Yeah.
Got annoyed that nobody was doing a scientific food like show, like not just here is a recipe, follow my recipe, here's the recipe, you finished it, good job, you're done. Teaching you the scientific process of what's going on at each step, like not even super sciencey,
just basic.
Just going, hey, people say, oh yeah, if you're cooking like a steak or something or beef, you can soak it in wine beforehand to make it juicier. That's just something that people accept and they go, oh yep, that's fine, put meat in wine, make juicy. Technically, no. What happens is the alcohol content in the wine scars the exterior of the meat, so that when you do cook it off, the juices that are already in the meat can't leak out, because the exterior is already scarred to some extent.
Yeah,
so it's just teaching.
Seals it.
Yeah, it's like if you're ever doing like stew or something, using like cut up beef, fry it, sear it all off first, because you're gonna get a lot of flavour from searing it off that you're not gonna get if you just chuck it straight in the fucking liquid.
Yeah.
But also it sears off the outside, so the liquid, that's the fluid and the juices that are already in the meat aren't just gonna flow out as soon as you boil it.
Yeah.
So he teaches you stuff like that, not just facts of beef go in wine, make juicy. It's, oh, here's what happens when you do that.
This is what happens and why it happens.
Yes, so then in your head you go, oh, okay, I wonder if I can do the same thing with beer, because I'm using this other kind of meat. And then you do it, and it works, and you go, okay, I have internalized that, not just a fact, I have retained a bit of information.
Yes.
That I can take and do with other stuff.
Okay.
It's like, just very simply, when you make like a custard or something, a really good one is when you're making a cake. Generally, when you're making a cake, if you need to sub something out for like if somebody's got an allergy, like eggs,
yeah,
you can replace an egg with a banana.
Yeah.
You can generally get away with one, but you have to think about what's happening. Like if you make a cake and there's butter in it,
yeah,
and you're like, oh, I don't have any butter, but oil's the same, it's just fat. You have to think that butter, after the cake has cooled down, all the butter that's in that cake mix is going to cool down and firm up again. If you do it with oil, oil doesn't cool down and solidify, it stays liquid at room temperature. So it's not going to firm up. Your cake is going to be super fucking soggy.
Yeah.
Because you've used oil as opposed to butter. You need, and eggs, when they cook, firm up.
Yeah.
That happens within a cake. You've put eggs in, so it firms up and then maintains its shape. That's the protein within the cake. If you're subbing that out for something else, you need to put something in that's going to firm up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Okay. Oh, quite interesting.
It's also like different kind of thickening agents. Like you can use an egg yolk to thicken things, because when you heat an egg yolk, it goes solid.
Yeah.
So put that into a sauce and then heat up that sauce. That egg yolk is still going to solidify, but spread out through the entirety of the sauce. Yeah. But it's only going to thicken to that point. That's it.
Yeah. So it then makes a watery sauce thick.
Yeah, but once it is thickened, it's not going to any thicker other than you evaporating more liquid off.
Yeah.
You just got to think about like, oh, I'm putting this in for this reason. Right, if I'm not putting that in,
yeah,
this one thing isn't going to happen to this thing, so it's not going to come out right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like Alton Brown did a full talk about that, and someone asked him, like, oh, hey, when you're subbing stuff out in a cake, like, what can you get away with? And it was like, generally you can get away with one, and you'll have an okay cake.
Yeah.
sub out more than one integral ingredient, and it's going to start going fucky.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell, it's been like an hour and 20 minutes. Jeez.
Yeah, we've done alright, Plebbo.
We have done.
Yeah.
Should we leave it there?
We can do, yeah. I think we've started off topic, gone on topic,
And then gone off topic again.
gone off topic. So this is usually where we cut it.
Yeah, right.
Right, see you in a bit, Plebbo.
Right, see yous in a bit.